Let's add that microphone in there. Alright. What's going on, people? It's like we're at the Rose Bowl or some shit. No. We're just here for a podcast, a Friday night podcast with your host with the most, Griever, as always, here to bitch, moan, and complain. Like we do on this podcast. That is the whole purpose of this. It's not meant to be... By the way, let's get this right out of the gate because clearly the title isn't enough. Don't take it seriously. Everything I say is done for comedic purposes and or just because I feel like bitch, moaning, and complaining. So, if we can all be adults and we can all agree on that... I'm already... hitting some at bats already. I'm already kicking it out of the park here. Already pissing some people off. So, So, fact of the matter is, we do have the mod discussion open up on Discord. So if people want to jump in, they can feel free to do so. But I feel like this is going to be a much shorter podcast than the last few. I always say that, and then it ends up being 2 hours anyways. But not seriously. There's some shit I want to talk about. For example, TV shows. I feel like you're only a good TV show anymore if you're like pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? It started with like the Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, all that shit, right? Which, once again, fantastic shows. I love Breaking Bad. I love Sons of Anarchy. But I do also have a feeling that nowadays, the moment you jump into something like that, right, is that nowadays all of those type of shows, you either do that for an Emmy or you're not doing it at all. Like, what happened to, like, the Gilmore Girls shows? Like, Gilmore Girls, I would argue, is just as good, if not better, a show than those. You know? And some people might call me a pussy or, you know, pussy whipped or something like that. Gilmore Girls is a fucking great show. It's a great show from a comedy level. It's actually one of the greatest comedy shows of all time. I don't get why people love The Office so much. I really don't. My wife loves The Office. I don't get it. I really don't. Some of it's okay, but for the majority, The Office was not that great. Gilmore Girls was peak level comedy. That's how you write good comedic dialogue, right? And then inside of that, you have romance, always great. But then you have the drama and stuff like that. Like, what happened to those shows? I haven't seen a successor to Gilmore Girls yet. Something that I could sink my teeth into and say, alright, I want to follow these characters for another 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I've failed to see that yet. So, you know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not cool enough to get it. But I do definitely want to see more television shows stop trying to be the next Breaking Bad and try to be the next Gilmore Girls. You know? That's what I'm more hoping for going forward. Anyways. Yeah. So. Anyways. What else? Oh, I did read. Yes, I will be releasing the One Piece chapter review. Yeah, probably tomorrow. Something like that. It was an alright chapter. Nothing I didn't... In all honesty, a little bit of plot armor or a little bit of... funnily enough, Oda just being like, yeah, no, I'm not going to make it a big deal that certain characters have devil fruits. Just, boom, it happened randomly. Let's go. You know what I mean? So that was fine. But yeah, I will be doing a review of the One Piece chapter. I did, due to a lot of people... we have a chat member. Philippe says good night. Oh. Good night, Philippe. there was the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter came out. And I was told to catch up and read this one because I would like it and stuff. So I did have some spare time at the end of the day here. So I did spend my time, and I did actually end up catching up, even though I don't review the series anymore, because I feel like, even though I'm a small-time channel, giving praise or giving views to such poorly written shit, it ain't in my wheelhouse, right? So I did do that. I did read all of the Jujutsu Kaisen chapters. And at the end of the day, this last chapter, I mean, it's what I've been saying the whole time. And everybody called me crazy. But I always said Yuta was number 3. I always said it. I fought it. I debated it. Somehow, people are acting like I got the L on my forehead when... I mean, your boy just got fucking one-shotted. So... I'm just putting that out there. I'm just putting it out there that, yes, there is circumstances and we can do technicalities, but at the end of the day, let's be real here. Let's be real. Kenjaku, who survived a black hole, got one attack by Yuta, done. That is, I mean, on paper, that is not an incorrect statement, so I know there's a lot more that goes into it, but you guys gotta let me have this, because I know for a fact, I already posted this in my Discord, I know for a fact, we're gonna have some off-screen bullshit, we're gonna have fucking, what did I say? I said, it'll be some YouTube where he's sitting there with Gojo going, yeah, man, Kenjaku was the fucking Michael Jordan of cursed energy, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand. He's gonna suck off Kenjaku's cock, just like Gojo sucked off Sukuna's cock at that chapter, and we'll have no explanation for how Yuta lost, but Yuta will lose because, I mean, Gege hates his best characters for some reason, and you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's gonna be a thing, but either way, it's quite funny, honestly, to me. I caught up for the sole reason that people said, like, yeah, and going into the chapter, I knew that Yuta must have done something for me to be involved. And I went in and Yuta killed Kenjaku just straight up. Like, not even, no diff. And we all know that Kenjaku's coming back, and that's my problem with this. Is like, Gege has a serious problem with, like, nobody, not even real Yuta fans like myself, not even real Yuta fans, believe this W. And the problem is that outside of Yuta straight up beating him after this, it's going to either go down as an asterisk where, well, Takaba did all the heavy lifting. No, he didn't, but whatever. Or it's going to go down as plot armor when he lives. So, you know, I just, yeah. This is my problem. I should be happy about this chapter, but I know it's not. I know I can only flex for 1 week. For 1 week, I can go, yeah. Yuta killed Kenjaku. Yuta top 3. And then next week, Yuta will be at the at the Harry Potter train station. You know. So, I don't trust in Gege. I don't trust in his writing. I think he's doing shit work right now. And, I'm not there for it. So that's, I mean, it's part of the reason I dropped the series. A lot of people think I dropped the series because Gojo died. No, I stuck around for like 2 or 3 chapters after that. I still thought it was shit, but I stuck around and I'm just sitting here going, yeah, no. You know, so I'm not falling back so easily. And also there's a meme, by the way, that goes around that, forget what it is, but it's I think it's Gito talking to Gojo. He basically said, no, you drop it, that's fine. But don't come crawling back just because your boy comes back. Like, if Gojo ends up coming back, you know what I mean? Like, if anything happens, stay away. You made your bed, you sleep in it, and I respect that. I respect that. I know it's a meme, but I respect it. The idea is, if you don't stick around with Jujutsu Kaisen when you think it's bad, you don't deserve to have it when it's great. And that's a fair argument, you know? Like, I was just told to come back, but I didn't review it, even though my guy Yuta, my main character Yuta, is back and he just killed the supposed number 3 in the universe. I didn't come back. I'm not making a video about it. You know, I read it on my own time because I was told you might like this, you know. So, yeah, there is that. Philippe says, do you know Kengan Ashura? I mean, I've reviewed the entirety of both that and Omega, but no. Don't know what you're talking about, man. But yeah, not to be a dick here. But yes, Philippe, I do know Kengan Ashura. I reviewed the entire series. I live streamed the entire series on this channel. And then I went on to review Omega, which I do week to week. So, which, by the way, Kuroki is doing better than everybody says. Making a separate video about that, like I said in that 49-minute live reaction. But Kuroki is going to prove all the naysayers wrong. Bunch of haters. Bunch of fucking Jackie whack-off haters. And once again, here's the sad thing. Like, I like Jackie and I like Kuroki. But we all need to acknowledge that Kuroki is gonna do something, you know? When people tell me he's not gonna do shit, I'm just sitting there like, nah, man, nah. That ain't the way this shit flies, you know? So what else is there? What else? We talked about the One Piece chapter. We talked about shows. I got something fun for you guys. I got something a little fun. Let's see. Oh, Caden's in there. Hi, Caden. Says, what do you think of the new Dragon Ball show that's going to make all the characters kids? I don't like the idea, but once again, originally, to be fair, I also didn't like the inclusion of Beerus and Whis when that first came out, and it grew on me over time. So right now, I'm not a fan, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. You know, with something like that. So yeah. I gotta read the article. I'll read the article straight up from my phone. I'll read the article. And we as the people can decide. It's a bit of a controversial topic. And, yeah. So, it's a sports thing, so maybe some of you will fucking hate it. But, so, here's the article. Is that a minor hockey coach. So, basically, I'll summarize it really quick. Is that basically a minor hockey coach, like coaching, I don't know, like 10, 12-year-olds, something like that, went up and punched a referee in the face during a game, okay? And they're calling for immediate dismissal, blah, blah, blah. That's the long and short of it. But I'll read the article here with all the facts and all the details. An unbiased article, okay? It says, a minor hockey coach has been charged with assault after an on-ice incident during a game this past weekend in front of players and fans. The morning on Saturday at the Don Henderson Memorial, blah, blah, blah. was a U11 game. So I assume U11 means 11-year-olds, right? Between these two places. In the second period, there was a hit that resulted in a 5-minute major penalty. At one point, a cowbell. This is how weird this is. And this is happening in Nova Scotia. This is happening in my own province. So I'm like, who the fuck throws... Like, yeah, we have farms, but who the fuck throws a cowbell? And who is walking around with a cowbell? Second, who throws one on the goddamn ice? Either way, yeah. So a cowbell was thrown onto the ice. This is a true story. And the referee allegedly tossed the cowbell towards the Brookfield bench, which is, of course, the alleged coach that attacked. Unfortunately, it hit the coach. So here's the thing that I don't understand. They say, allegedly, he threw the cowbell at the bench. But they don't say, allegedly it hit the coach. They say, allegedly he threw it. Somehow the coach got hit by a cowbell, but, I mean, we don't know how he got hit, you know what I mean? So, obviously, yeah, the ref picked up the cowbell and tossed it onto... He did a really bad move, right? He tossed it or something towards the bench to get it off the... Probably, in all honesty, to give, to be devil's advocate here to the ref, he probably was just trying to get that piece of shit off of his ice, right? Okay, fair enough. But he tossed it, and unfortunately, it hit the coach. Now, where did it hit the coach? Did it hit him in the head? Did it hit him in the... Whatever. But a metal cowbell hitting me in the shoulder, I'm pissed off. I'm going to break some eggs, right? So, immediately, it hit the coach, who took it upon himself to walk over to the bench and grab the ref and started punching him. I mean... Alright, let's finish the article. A spectator came down off the bleachers and allegedly attacked the referee as well, which left the young hockey players on the team trapped inside the bench and in tears, hysterical about everything that had happened. Parents started climbing over the ice in order to break up the fight. And now the Hockey Nova Scotia confirmed the coach involved has been suspended indefinitely pending the outcomes of the RCMP investigation reviewed by the Hockey Canada's independent third-party process. Should today on, I guess, the magazine or whatever it's called, Citizen Q, should those involved in the incident with the ref be banned from attending minor hockey? Here's the deal. The ref unknowingly committed assault with a deadly weapon. And the coach that got hit decided, you can't fucking throw a cowbell at me, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. In 2023, that's not okay. I don't know why, but 2023 sucks. In 1995, he's lucky he didn't get more people on his side. So, when this story came out initially, like I heard about this last night, everybody was saying, even the guy that, a friend of mine who posted the article is talking about absolutely reprehensible behavior. As minor league coaches, we have a duty to never show physical abuse and violence. Meanwhile, people are cross-checking each other into the boards on the deadliest surface in the world. Like hockey players, literally the only sport where you're allowed to literally beat the shit out of each other. We still allow fights in the NHL. So don't tell me that violence isn't okay in this sport, right? I'm Canadian. I've grown up around hockey. It's a violent ass sport. Don't give me this bullshit where we literally have basically mini boxing matches on the ice, and that's normal. So don't give me this shit about, oh, you traumatize the kids with physical violence. Bullshit. Get the fuck away, right? So my big thing is the fact that most times the stories came out was that a minor league coach got off his bench and punched a ref in the face. That headline reads wrong. But immediately when you actually read the story, like I just read it, verbatim, he was hit with a fucking piece of metal object. somewhere on his body and decided to retaliate. I would argue, if you're going to charge the coach with assault for punching the ref in the face, I would argue, if you accidentally hit someone with your car, guess what it goes down as? It's still assault with a motor vehicle. It's still assault with a deadly weapon. Even if it's an accident, you didn't intend to hit the guy with your car. It's still assault. It's still assault with a deadly weapon just because it's an accident. So if Buddy carelessly threw this heavy piece of metal object, a cowbell, towards the bench, which why the fuck would you do that with enough force to hit the coach? Which means you needed to pick it up. They're heavy, so he needed to put some force behind that to actually frisbee it to hit a coach? God damn. Like, that's assault with a deadly weapon. So, Buddy basically just said tit for tat and defended himself. I don't think Buddy should be suspended. I think that both, if you're going to suspend one, you should suspend both. Like, get the ref. I don't want to see that ref back on the ice. If you're going to also suspend the coach, suspend both of them, right? And whoever the fuck threw a cowbell out there, charge him and get him the fuck out of ever going to an arena ever again. Who the fuck threw a cowbell on the ice? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of fault here, but everybody blaming the coach. Nobody talking about the guy who threw the cowbell. And nobody talking about the ref throwing a cowbell at a coach. And then, like, if somebody throws a heavy metal object at me, I'm punching them in the face too. I don't give a fuck that kids are around. You know? Somebody throws an iron post at you in a school zone. You're not going to punch them back. You're not going to retaliate. Are you kidding me? Bullshit. So, yeah. No, and I have all these friends, like, all these people, like, absolutely, as I said, absolutely reprehensible behavior. You're like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, you don't know anything. You either didn't read the article and have all the facts, or you just don't know anything. So, yeah. Ridiculous. Philippe said, do you think there will be a continuation of King and Omega, or that the author will finish it and continue the universe with the manga star? Do I think King and Omega is the last one? I mean, no. I think King and Omega is going on for another 5 years easy. So I don't think it's the time to really be talking about that, honestly. It depends on where Omega ends at, really. Because, I mean, you could argue that Asura was a perfect ending. It was a great ending. It ended well, and it was the long and short, and it was over. So, you know, it is what it is there, my man. Yeah. So, either way, so as far as the hockey thing goes, yeah, we talked about that. What else I got? As I said, I knew this was going to be a short one. If nobody jumped in, I knew this was going to be a short one. Now, I've had the Discord open for a while, so it is what it is. But, and it's late. It's very late, so, you know, I'll probably talk about a few more controversial topics just to get myself canceled or in trouble. I get myself canceled every time I do one of these things, so. SpadeX is in here and said, "What's up, Griever? What's up, SpadeX? How you doing?" Let's see. What else was there? What else? Man, I covered most of the topics in 30 minutes. My God. It's way easier to do that when we're doing this. All right, we're gonna check the phone. We're gonna do the we'll do a few "Am I the Asshole" things, you know. Philippe said, "Do you know looksism or lookism?" Yeah, I do, but I'm not a big fan of webtoons. I don't like the format, nor do I like color. So if I want color, I'll read a Western comic. So unlikely to read it, but I do know of it. Probably not gonna read it though. I do know of it. Thank you, Philippe. I do know of it. Let's check the Reddit for. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Truly unpopular opinion subreddit. Let's read a couple of these. See if we find any good ones. Squatters do not deserve rights. No, they don't. But that's an easy one. No matter how much they bitch, I'm going to agree. Rise of the White Ring in West Europe. Whatever. Every socialist in the U.S. is a champagne. Whatever. Just wanting sex from a person is fine. I mean, yeah. As long as both parties are consenting to that and there's no hard feelings, and yeah, I mean, that's what a fuck buddy is. People need to stop villainizing European and English colonizers. Alright, how long is this post? Alright, it's not long because I want to hear this one because I'm a huge defender of colonizers. I really am. I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely am. Sorry. Colonization happened for tens of thousands of years, and without it, we would not have advanced as a civilization. So you can blame Whitey for all your woes and sorrows at the end of the day, but I didn't do it. You know, all that did was advance technology and create. We turned North America into a first world countries. That's what we did with colonization. So, there's a lot of bad things that happened with colonization. 100%. I'm not defending the horrendous acts that happened too, but you know, they happened. Spadex said, how was your Thanksgiving? Well, my Thanksgiving was last month, so it was fantastic, honestly. That was last month. As far as this Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving went, well, funnily enough, I saved up my Amazon cart for the last, month, waiting for, great Black Friday sales and stuff. I saved, $7 out of, $300. I could have just ordered it, had it all by now. You know, Christmas gifts, some things for the house, blah, blah, blah. I had built up a cart on Amazon worth about $300. And, yeah, at the end of the day, I only saved myself $7-8. So it wasn't worth the wait. But my wife went out. I mean, she's in LA right now, so she went all out, going with her mother to doing the Black Friday sales, and they did the Thanksgiving thing yesterday. I went to a Skybox hockey game, actually. Got tickets to a Skybox, and I'd never been to a Skybox before, elite tickets and stuff. So I went there while going to a bar beforehand so I could watch some of the Cowboys play, and they dominated, obviously, and stuff. So I had a really good time, but though I had work that day and work in the morning and stuff, so my brother was hungover as fuck. It was funny, because he's the one with the tickets. We went out all night, we were drinking all night, blah, blah, blah. And then in the morning, I'm like, yeah, we'll start because I'm sort of when I'm the second in command of our company. So I basically said, we'll go in half an hour later, right? And I told all the guys, we'll start half an hour later, it's a Friday. Just to sleep off a little bit more of the hangover. And he was still hungover as fuck. So it's kind of funny. But I hope your Thanksgiving was good, turkey, ham, all the good shit. I hope you had a good one. He said, you got a good karaoke video cooking? I have my thoughts on what could happen. I mean, it's not a karaoke video. I have a video about principles in general. I have a video, it's cooking, my man. It's cooking. What I have cooking is a video about principles. And how it is the only and the deciding factor that makes Shen so good. Take away principles from Shen, S tiers can fight and defeat him. Principles is the difference. Unless, and I will make this argument in the video, unless there's a fourth factor, because we have pinnacle of human conditioning, which you can argue a lot of the S tiers have, or guys like Waka already beat that, but you can argue pinnacle of human conditioning. We can also argue that S tiers have that, right? I mean, but if you want to say that Shen's muscle is the greatest, tightest, most fucking gets pussy wet, the best muscles in the universe, whatever. Okay. Still, it's not going to make or break the huge difference, right? Then you have that Hoiseng shit, right? The whole memory, he's got 1,000 years of stuff. Well, there's Alan Wu for that argument, right? Ryan ripped his ass apart with no diff. So, 1,000 years of experience means nothing when it comes to S tiers, as far as I'm concerned. It was proven right there. So, it doesn't matter if you have all these experiences. If your experiences don't add up to much, it don't matter. So, we go away from that. Then we have principles. That's the only thing that we've been told in Omega that separates during the Mukaku fight and stuff. Principles is the only thing that makes Shen such a demon, that makes him such a monster. There might be, and I'll bring this up in the video, there might be an invisible, or not invisible, but a fourth factor that we don't know about yet, that we have not been told in the story. 100%. That's a possibility. But until we're told that, I'm not going to listen to anybody who tells me that Kuroki cannot defeat Shen if he gains principles. Because principles is the one thing, it's the gatekeeper. It's the thing that decides the men from the boys. And once you get it, you got it. It's like Ultra Instinct. It's not something that you just, I'm at level 1 principles and Shen's at level 99 principles. No, you either have principles or you don't. There's not a level cap. It's an infinity symbol. You have principles or you don't have principles. That's the end. That's it. So, if we go by that logic, there's either the fourth factor or having principles is the main deal. So that's going to be my whole... I've already said this multiple times. So the video is going to be very boring for everybody who's been listening to this podcast and all my videos, because I've basically done the long and short of the entirety of the main concept of the video. I'm just going to structure it a little better, hoping to make it about 17 minutes, 20 minutes long. Talk about a few things, you know. Philippe said, if you could, would you choose to be a member of the Cure Clan or have the Superman syndrome? Superman syndrome 100%. I don't like my veins popping out. I would prefer to have Superman syndrome. I would prefer to have Superman syndrome. Spadex said, yeah. I believe principles is a decided factor between gods and S tiers. Thank you. I would say that 1,000 plus years of knowledge is important. Oh, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying that it only gets you so far. It's not going to change what... Since we had the Alan Wu shit, I'm not believing that 1,000 years experience makes and breaks guys like Ryan, like Oma, Agito, Kuroki and stuff. That whole having experience was proven just... It doesn't matter when it comes to real S tiers because Ryan ripped Alan in half, right? It is important, otherwise all the other arguments of what made Kuroki and Ashura good. I mean, exactly. But, like, that's my point. Like, Wolverine is 200 years old, right? And he fought in every war. Every war for the past couple of centuries. He fought in every war. Do you think he actually gained experience by the time Korea happened? Don't you think he knew enough about war by World War One, by the end of World War One? And then World War Two. Then Korea. Then Vietnam. Then I ran. Like, seriously, you don't think at some point, like, it was like, no, there's nothing new under the sun. Eventually, it's like, yeah, I'm fighting and I'm winning. But you think there comes a point where it's like, we use this as though, it's like, if you were to, like, Michael Jordan couldn't be any better at basketball. It's almost impossible to be better. Eventually you reach a point and you don't get better. So I would argue that this argument of 1,000 years of martial arts and stuff, it's like, yeah, but once you reach the point, once you reach the pinnacle, like you can only write the 8th Symphony to so much perfection before it's done. You know what I mean? You can only be so good at the guitar. You can only be so good. There is a point where you don't level up. There is a level 99 and there's not a level 100. So when they argue that, yeah, he's got 1,000 years experience, no, he's fought for 1,000 years and he's seen 1,000 years worth of shit. It doesn't mean that he kept evolving over 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? I can easily make that argument that eventually people stop growing. Eventually, you've tasted every food in the world. And at some point, there is no new flavor. There's nothing new. You know what I mean? So, cooking is incredibly awesome. But eventually, you're going to run out of spices. There's only so many spices in the world. There's only so many karate moves. There's only so many musical instruments. There's only so many, you know what I mean? So I think the whole 1,000 years plus experience is getting blown out of proportion as though somebody who's been alive for 1,000 years is automatically going to be so much better. Like, it's not. It's not. Like, because by that logic, I know less than everybody older than me in my field. By that logic. If somebody has 10 years on me, 20 years, 30 years, 3 decades worth of experience over me in the electrical field, immediately they know more than I do. Just by the years of experience alone. Meanwhile, they've only wired houses or they've only done something. I have wired a million other things different from them. I'm actually more knowledgeable. I'm actually a better electrician than a lot of guys older than me because of the way I had very specialized training, but it allowed me to broaden. I'm very versatile as an electrician. There are guys who are in their 60s who are not nearly as good as I am. They just aren't. That's not me being what's the word? Cocky. That's not me being like arrogant. It's just a fact. I know more than they do because my job requires me to know a hell of a lot more really quickly and more versatile because my job is a lot more difficult than just running wire for houses. You know what I mean? So, I know more. It is what it is. So, I just, the 1,000 years thing just bothers me because that's the only argument I've actually seen why Kuroki's going to lose. Kuroki has principles, but Shen has 1,000 years experience. And I'm like, yeah, but what if he peaked at 50 years? What if he gained nothing for 950 years? What if he fought for 950 years, but what did he get out of it? You know, you're acting as though living longer gives you wisdom, gives you experience. It does not. Because by that logic, what about people who, I'm 32 years old. What about people who are 32 who know 5 languages? I know 1. So we lived the same amount of time, lived in the same country, had the same amount of experience, yet this person has now 4 more languages, entire cultures and languages on me. We lived the same amount of time. The argument on the 1,000 years thing is that Shen utilized that 1,000 years to its utmost efficiency and learned everything he could. And we've seen for a fact that's not the case because he has no concept of sarcasm, social cues, or anything else. So, I'm not convinced. I think the 1,000-year argument is bullshit. I think it's stupid. Spade said, yeah, I'd agree. I'm not saying that 1,000 plus years isn't a definite factor, but an add-on of why Shen's powerful, and in your analogy, Shen would be level 99 in that sense. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that Principles doesn't have a level 99. I'm saying that Principles is a concept. It's something that you unlock, like Super Saiyan. There's not a level Super Saiyan. There's not Super Saiyan. I mean, there's Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. But I'm saying if Shen unlocks Super Saiyan, and Kuroki unlocks Super Saiyan, there's nothing to say. Nobody unlocked Super Saiyan 2 yet. You know what I mean? Like, that's my argument, is that Principles isn't a level based. It's not a power level system. Like, if we're going to use Dragon Ball analogies, it's not, oh, my power level is 500,000. Well, mine's 650. Well, mine's 700,000. You know, I'm saying it's Super Saiyan. It's Trunks and Goku. Both Super Saiyan. Vegeta, Super Saiyan. Gohan, Super Saiyan. All Super Saiyans. You know? It's a form. It's not something that's gauged just because I've had it longer, therefore I'm better at it and you'll never catch up to me. Like, because otherwise, outside of plot armor, Shen's never going to be defeated. You know? And that just doesn't make sense to me. It's never made sense to me in that regard, but... I mean, I get what you're saying, Spade. I do. I'm just arguing against it, which is fair. You're making a good argument. I'm making a good argument in my mind. I think we're both there. There is an argument. I'm not gonna lie, and sit here and say oh, I'm 100% right. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that from a narrative standpoint and stuff like that, if I'm wrong, we're about to be due for some fairy tale friendship power up, talk no jutsu bullshit to be able to defeat Shen. And I'm hoping the latter. So, the difference is, my concept, if I'm right, the writing stays good. See what I'm saying? But if I'm wrong, how the fuck we defeating Shen? You know what I mean? So, my way is the way to keep it narratively consistent and make it make sense. That's why I like it. That's why I'm a theory of it. Because what I'm trying to do is make it the story, you know. Spade said, well, for that, Shen has a better stride than Luhan, a principle of movement of blind souls, but all is good. I'm just really excited to see next chapter. I mean, yeah, 100%. He has a better stride than Luhan. And once again, if you want to argue that that's principles, 100%, it's sort of like the inception of intent, right? Once you gain it, or foresight, once you gain it, yes, there are going to be people that are more seasoned and better at it. For example, Hatsumi, once he gained, and I've made this argument once we saw that fight with Hatsumi immediately became one of the best users of it because he already was there, just naturally. His natural ability made him have the inception of intent. He just never had it. Now he's got it. And it's like, whoa. So, it makes him far more deadly, for example, right? As far as, yeah, the stride thing going, yeah, yeah. My point is that people are acting as though even... Alright. Here's the way I want to describe it. If Kuroki unlocked principles, people are acting as though that's a level 1 Pikachu. Okay? And Shen is a level 99 legendary Pokemon with principles. What I'm trying to say is that no, they're both Pikachus, just maybe one is a little better than the other. That's all I'm saying. Is that Principles is the same Pokemon. It's not the difference between you're a level 1 Caterpie and I'm a level 99 fucking Charizard. No, you're both Caterpies or you're both Charizards. But there is that little bit of, alright, who's the better Charizard, right? If two Charizards at equal level go head to head, somebody's got to win, right? So that's, I think, my argument is that Principles is more, people are acting as though it's Caterpie versus Charizard, when really it's Charizard versus Charizard. Who's got the better Charizard at the end of the day? That's all that matters. That's all Principles is. You know. One Dragon Ball is not better than any of the other 7. That's all I'm saying. Right? You have one Dragon Ball. The 1 star to the 7 star is just as good as all the others. One is not weaker nor stronger. So if you have Principles, you've got it. You know. And I think it puts him in that tier. And I think what happens with that tier is that it allows him to actually fight. It allows him to fight him. I don't think he's winning, but he's going to fight him. Spade said, I actually don't think Shen will ever be defeated. I think the Kangen Association will be the new worm in a sense to keep the world, I assume, in balance so Shen doesn't go crazy. I mean, that's a possibility. Sure. Sure, we can go with that. So yeah, I'm gonna read the people need to stop villainizing European and English colonizers because I think Philippe said something that he took away or whatever, that colonizers, there's nothing wrong with colonizers. But let's go. People constantly villainize Europeans, most often England, for colonizing all over the world. They do indeed. My own wife blames me somehow, like I was involved. But various other groups of people throughout the world would have done the same thing if they had had the same opportunities in the right conditions. This is true, and we've also seen this, by the way. Colonization is not a white people concept. They did it all over the world throughout history. It's just we were the last ones to do it. The last successful people to do it were white Europeans, so we're the bad guys. But we don't blame Africa and we don't blame Asia, even though they were doing it for a lot longer, way back in history. But a big reason Europeans set out to sea and conquered other lands, while most of Africa did not, was because Europeans had a longer coastline and coastal indentations, harbors, mountain ranges with melting snowcaps, feeding rivers which emptied to the sea, and lumber. All of these things allowed them to build ships and develop a maritime culture. This is why Europeans conquered other lands while Africa did not. If Africa had had the same geographic upper hand as Europe, everyone would be bitching about African colonizers. Well, Africa did actually colonize. Does everyone remember that it wasn't just Hitler? Africa enslaved like 1 billion Jews to build the pyramids. Let's just... Can everybody remember that? Like, I love when people say that white people were never enslaved. And it's like, Roman Empire, anybody? Ottoman Empire? Egyptians? I mean, I can go back in history a lot. Let's see. Ralata, I can't say that. Metralata? Can you stop saying host with the most on your reviews? Sure. I tell you what, how about you come up with a catchphrase for me then? How about you come up with someone for me? You know, because clearly, Metralata, you are definitely, you've got the most. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, it's under truly unpopular opinion. I mean, once again, I think there's too much hate. Is colonization bad? Yes. If you had to tack up the numbers and do a tally score, yeah, in the end, colonization was bad. But white people were not the only peoples that did it. Europeans were not the only ones who did it. And throughout history, many, many cultures, many, many groups of people colonized. Is it a bad practice? Yeah, overall. Overall, it was bad practice. And we don't do it anymore, which is fine, because it was a bad practice. The benefits of the practice cannot be denied, but still, overall, bad practice. But we don't do it anymore. Granted, I don't know why 300 years later I'm still being blamed for winning a war, but I mean, it is what it is. I am one of those. I'm not. I'm very liberal, guys. I'm not a. I'm not. What do you call them? Republicans or what's the wing you pick when you're Republican or whatever. I'm not one of those. I hate Trump. I'm not a Republican. I'm not red tie or anything like that. But I do have one little gripe that keeps me from being apparently full blue tie liberal or whatever, is that I do agree that there is a level of racism against or a little bit too much blame on white people. And it's like, how many decades are going to go by before we just say, no. I am on that spectrum or whatever. And you can call that racist or not understanding or ignorant or white privilege or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I do not like being blamed for shit that I had no control of. And acting as though that I get something more than you. I was born in Canada. Guess what? Anybody born in Canada gets the same rights as any Canadian. In fact, Native Americans or Native Canadians get a hell of a lot more, even if you're only 1/8. You get a hell of a lot more. I don't get any privileges. I don't get any tax breaks. I get nothing. Immigrants get more than I do, and so do Native Canadians. So where's this white privilege? What pile of money do you think I'm sleeping on that I get? What do you think that I'm gaining that you're not? And this whole, you're not pulled over by the cops. Bullshit. If I drive around 2:30 in the morning in a Honda Civic with my hood up, I'm getting pulled over. I've been pulled over. And I've been harassed by cops. It sucks. It sucks. But I don't pull a sexist card or a race card or any of that shit, because guess what? I'm a blue-eyed white guy. I got no card to play. I have to say, yes, officer, no, officer, like everybody else. And I have to take my talking to, even if it's wrong. And then I have to drive away. And what is small court going to do about it? Nothing. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. It's the same deal. You get pulled over, you're talking to, and then you have to drive away feeling like a piece of shit, even if you didn't do anything wrong. It happens. I've dealt with it multiple times myself. And all because I was working late. All because I was driving to the airport at like 2 in the morning picking up my wife or something. It's like, all right, you get pulled over. You know why? Because you're driving around at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of fucking weird. Who the fuck is driving around at 2 in the morning other than people up to no good? So I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, it sucks. Yeah, nobody's jumping in here, so I thought somebody would jump in. It's a Friday night. I thought somebody would jump in, but apparently not. Just for Metralata, I'm gonna dedicate the next week of videos. And somehow I'm losing likes. I lost like 4 likes. I had like 6, and I'm down to 3. I don't know what happened. Just for Metralata there, I'm going to dedicate the next 2 weeks worth of videos. When I say host with the most, I'm going to immediately say, even though Metralata does not like when I say this, I'm going to say that for every video, just so they have the full, recognize that they got under my skin, you know what I mean? 100% going to do it. Just because I'm a spiteful son of a bitch. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, there we go. Now we're back up to 5. I don't know what's happening here with the likes. We can keep talking about Kengan if you guys want. I don't care. I'm just fucking around pretty much. How much longer I got on this thing? Well, I've been going for about an hour, so we'll go. Well, when I finish this beer, if nobody jumps into the chat, then I'll finish the beer and then we'll be done. I figured since I wasn't going to get to the One Piece review today, so. Am I the asshole? I love this subreddit. Sometimes it's funny. Not changing my dog's name? Nah, I don't care. Kicking out my future in-laws? Nope. For not following traditions in Thanksgiving. Okay, how long is this? Way too long. I'm not reading all that. I'm a very traditional man, so I like following traditions, but ask my husband if he wants a trophy. Wait, what? It's not that long. So what is it about? Alright, am I the asshole for asking my husband if he wants a trophy? Is this the... Okay, women can't even get that right. What do you want? A medal. It's what do you want? A medal, not a trophy. I assume this is coming from a place of bitchiness. Let's go. But we'll see. We'll see. So my husband, 30 male, and I, 29 female, have 2 children together. We lost a child 2 years ago and welcomed another into the world almost 6 months ago. Fantastic. I mean, sorry for your loss for the 2 years ago, losing the child. That must suck. I've never had to deal with that, but I imagine it's dramatic. But granted, you welcomed another one into the world 6 months ago, so thankfully for that. Also, I never, nowadays, people think, like, a non-miscarriage, basically like a false, like, they weren't even in their first trimester and they lost the baby and then they try again and they get a baby and stuff. Oh, nowadays, people are so sensitive that they're like, oh, I lost a baby. Well, no, you didn't. That happens all the fucking time. It's not a thing, you know? So, losing a baby to me means, like, the thing you were going to give birth, or you had a literal miscarriage. The thing had 5 fingers, 10 fingers, 10 toes, that kind of idea. And you lost that, like 7 months in or whatever. Like that, like by the 3rd trimester. Now, basically by the point where abortion is unsafe, like to do an abortion, which I think is 26 weeks. After that, yeah, now it's a viable life. Like, yeah, that's losing a baby. Losing a baby, like at week 3, I got my doubts about that. But I'm also pro-abortion. Like, once again, I think there's too many people in the world, so yeah. If you don't think you can handle parenthood or whatever, yeah. Abortion's a thing. Spanish says, oh, Griever, did you see the misinterpretation and mistranslation of Liu Han saying womp 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 panel? No. He just said womp 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 after he got hit. There was a mistranslation one? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Describe it to me. I just got the womp womp on. He was like, oh shit, I got hit in the face. Womp womp womp. It was almost like a comedy act, right? Let's see. So, my husband's also the breadwinner of the family. And I am SAHM. Don't know what that means. Stay at home. Oh, stay at home mom. Alright, so traditional family. Today, Black Friday, I go shopping with my parents every year. It's been a tradition since I was a child. My husband absolutely hates shopping and will be a grump if he has to go. Sounds like a bitch. The plan was for him to keep both kids, 4 and 6. Oh, a 4-month-old, 4-year-old and 6-month-old. So I could enjoy time with my parents and shop with the kids. I left in the morning and returned in the afternoon, after telling him how great the children were all day and he enjoyed the time home with them. Well, as a dad, that should be your first priority. You should always enjoy time with your kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not a dad yet, but my first priority will always be my kids. Like, if you're gonna father kids, how the fuck, like, other than people that were forced into it, you know, like, because the woman said, no, I'm not getting an abortion, and the law works against the man in that regard. If you choose to have kids, and you're a willing participant in that decision making, I don't see how spending time with your kids isn't the thing that you cherish the most. I don't get how, like, coming home from work and spending time with your kids, like, you can't wait to go home and spend time with your kids. I don't get that. Immediately spending time with your kids should be the thing you want to do the most. Outside of partying, going to the gym, doing, going to work, doing whatever, sleeping, whatever. Like, you just want to see them happy. You want to spend time with your kids. Like, I would think that any parent who doesn't feel that way shouldn't be a parent in the first place. And I think, well, I know for a fact there's too many people out there who shouldn't be parents. But yeah. SpadeX says, yeah, apparently it's in the raw. It's an onomatopoeia of a person is very angry and tired of what's happening. Oh. So when he went, womp, 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 like a comedy act thing, it was more of a middle finger thing? Oh, okay. So Lu Han was pissed that Shen hit him. Alright. That's very interesting, actually. I like that. That's interesting. That'll add a new dynamic to the whole, when we find out where Lu Han ended up. Did he get arrested? Yada, yada, yada. So anyway, continuing the am I am an asshole. Bedtime comes around, I shower the kids, get them both dressed, teeth brushed, blah, blah, blah. Last one is our daughter, she'll pick mommy, putting her to bed. I asked my husband if he could do it so I could shower and eat. He tells me, no, I've had them all day and you have been gone. You do it. I'm stunned and asking him to repeat himself. He does. I get frustrated because it's literally my life 24/7, watching our children. And never have said that. I got so angry and went, congratulations, do you need a trophy for being dad of the year? Slammed the door and put our daughter to bed. Wondering if I am the asshole since he had the kids all day, and when they behave they can both be a handful. Ooh. I know the comments are going to say not the asshole, but I'm going to push back on this one just to be devil's advocate. Let's check the comments first though. Not the asshole. Yep. Not the asshole. Yeah. Not the asshole. Yeah. All right. But here's like the bar is too low for fathers, isn't it? Not the asshole. All right. Wait. Here's where I have my problem. Okay. She admits to being the stay-at-home mom. So, once again, your job as a stay-at-home mom and the breadwinner of the family, making the income, making the bucks, doing all that shit, in a traditional 1970s house, is that you do take care of the kids. That's part of your job. I make all the money, I pay all the bills, I pay for all the groceries, I pay for all your pretty things, I pay for you to go out and buy nice clothes. So, you, on that end of the equation, do the cooking, cleaning, and stuff like that. In today's society, that's very rarely the case, right? You know, you have two working incomes. So then you start splitting the chores and stuff, and things become more even pace and stuff. And this was as early back as the 90s and stuff, right? So it's a bit of an out-of-date concept, but this woman freely admitted that she's a stay-at-home mom and he's the breadwinner. And he stayed home all day with the kids. And she went out having a good time, you know, not making money, not going to work, just having a good time. And I hate to say it, but I want to do some pushback here. He's not the asshole. Neither is she, but kind of, no, I'm sorry. He said no. He said, I've been home with the kids all day while you went out and were playing around, shopping, doing what, fun. You were out having fun. And now it's your turn to take care of the kids. And it's like, but I take care of the kids all the time. Yeah, but I go to work all the time. You don't pay any bills. See, I knew immediately the comment section would bitch on this guy, but she clearly, she shot herself in the foot to any intelligent human being who went, no, this is the old 1965 family. She's a housewife. So she's setting that role. So, you know, like I don't see the people are gonna say this is misogynistic. No, it's not. If the roles were reversed, if it was a stay-at-home dad, and the dad went golfing all day, right? If the dad went golfing all day, or went to the bars all day, or something like that, right? Went out with his buddies all day, and the woman was a doctor and making all the money, took care of the kids while he went out golfing on Saturday. And when they came home and said, yeah, you know what, I've been dealing with the kids all day, I'm kind of tired, blah, 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 I'd like you to take care of the kids now. And they said, no? Like, reverse the roles all of a sudden, now it's not so bad, is it? So, yeah, no, I knew those responses were going to be not the asshole. I'm actually going to respond. I'm going to put you the asshole. Because that one pisses me off. Because they clearly established the boundaries. Saying, he's the breadwinner. Her words, he's the breadwinner. She's a stay-at-home housewife. She's a stay-at-home mom. She does not work, not contribute any money, any financial gain. So this is literally the 60s. It's and he said, yeah, he want, like, once again, I think as a husband, like, and as a dad, you want to spend as much time with your kids as you can and stuff, but it's like, yeah, no, I did my job. I worked all week. What the fuck did you... And once again, rearing kids is part of your job. Yeah, but if you're not working, then I'm making enough money, doing enough of a good job that you don't have to work, that all you have to do is cook, clean, and take care of the kids. So there is, like, it's one of those things where it's a split deal, and I'm not saying that the husband shouldn't take care of his kids, but if he's been with the kids all day while the girl's been out, while the wife has been out all morning and all afternoon with not a care in the world, not any responsibility, it's like, yeah, no, it's, oh, I'm tired from my day of playing. You imagine if a dad came home and said, I'm really tired from playing golf all day with my buddies, drinking beer and playing golf. I don't want to take care of the kids. Can you keep doing that? You imagine if a fucking guy did that. That would be the fucking... They'd say, misogynistic fucking cheater, red flags, fucking... They'd be throwing red flags better than a soccer game. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. But the comment section is full of a bunch of supposed feminists who think, like, yeah. I am going to respond to that one. Spade said, she went out blowing the husband's money, having fun, and then complained of having to take care of the kids. And that's the gist of the story? Yeah. Wonder who the asshole is. Yeah, no shit. But trust me, we're misogynistic for calling out a spade a spade. I'm not even going to explain. I'm just going to make you the asshole. I want to see if one other person had the balls to say that. Everyone's like, oh, my dad was just the same. Such a terrible dad. Alright, stop bringing your own childhood trauma into this shit. Everyone's saying not the asshole. Oh, wait. We have somebody here. We have somebody. Do you expect him to work all day and then when he gets home and on weekends take care of household chores and give you a break from the kids? I'm asking, not saying this is what happens, but it does happen very often in marriages. I used to get so sick of listening to my wife and her friends talk about the husbands expect to be thanked for watching the kids when they went out for the evening because I never had a free moment. I worked and then I came home and went straight to coaching or practices. I stopped by the store if she needed me to. I helped cook and do the dishes. My life was literally sunup until 10 p.m., which is when I finally got to sit down and pay bills, etc. She would then get to bed as soon as the kids were down, and then they start school, so she had to get them to school. Then she would have the whole day to herself. So I get it. Yeah, all right. So one person's saying you're not the asshole, but he's asking the questions like, does he have to do like what is his regular schedule here? Like, because if he's a 5 to 5 man, and then he comes home, you know, like when I come home, here's the deal. It's different for me, but because my wife's a career woman and she makes good money too. But when I come home after a long fucking day, immediately I wash my hands and I have to start cooking supper. You know, because I'm a better cook than my wife. That's just the way it works. But I'm the one making supper. So I don't really sit down until almost 7:30, 8 o'clock. By the time I'm done prepping, cooking supper, blah, 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 doing whatever little chores need to be done, especially in the summer where there's so much to do, you know, yard work and that kind of idea, and I got to do all that and stuff. My wife's working. So, you know, but my wife would never tell me, oh, the kitchen's dirty, you should do the dishes. She immediately knows that I'm the one who went to work all day, even though she's at work, but she works from home. But she knows that, like, I went to work and did hard labor all day. Then I come home and cook her supper, along with my supper, but I cook our supper. So she does the chores during the evening. After it's all said and done, she cleans up, sweeps, does all that shit. Because it's like, no, now it's my time. I get to sit down on the computer or play a video game or do whatever I want because now it's my downtime. You know, that's an exchange, right? So, yeah. And this person says, excellent point. My days went the same way, nonstop. The culture is quick to judge that he's not doing enough. Since the way OP framed it already made him a jerk. Exactly. But I think she shot herself in the foot and all these idiots that are saying, you're not the asshole. My God, what a fucking entitled man. No. You've literally got a traditional man. You're in a traditional role and you're not holding up your end of the bargain. A traditional woman's role is cook, clean, and take care of the kids. A traditional man's role is to have a steady job and provide for the family, as in all the money, all the bills, all the wants, all the needs are taken care of by the man and his finances. She claimed that's the case. So you don't get to cherry pick. You don't get to be a modern woman and a traditional woman when it suits you. You also don't get to be a traditional man and a modern man when it suits you. It goes both ways. But she's in a traditional relationship with a traditional man in a traditional setup, and she's complaining about it as a modern woman, but she set herself up in a traditional relationship. And whether you agree that a traditional relationship is right or wrong for you, that's fine. Like, if it's right or wrong for you, that's okay. But she put herself into this situation, and now she's complaining not from a traditional woman's standpoint, but from a modern woman's standpoint. But she gets the perks of a traditional woman. See, a modern woman works for a living. A modern woman goes to work 40 hours a week. She doesn't. So she has no right to complain on modern woman's complaints. You know, it's like a stay-at-home dad would have it would be the exact same argument. So yeah, I love that you can see the feminism rolling off of this argument. Everyone else, not the asshole. Yep. Oh, somebody called out the fact that this didn't immediately show how this sub hates men. Eesh. And now people are fighting that comment. Of course they are. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a little controversial because I was wondering where it was going. And once again, if this was a modern relationship, you know, where we're two working parents, I would 100% agree that the guy was the asshole. 100%. But because she is a housewife and he's the breadwinner, it 100% becomes a different dynamic. It's a different situation. You know? See, the problem is that today's society has basically told women, you do not need to ever be a housewife. And being a housewife is demeaning. Being a mother is demeaning. That's the picture. That's not what they say, but that's what they painted. Is that if your husband is taking a nap and you're taking care of the children, you are being abused. That's the picture they're painting. It's such a load of shit. It's such bullshit. But they'll never say it outright, but that's what they're painting. They're painting the picture that if a man takes fucking time off and doesn't want to do and literally does not want to fucking do what's already been set aside and already done his 50%. Like, I love when feminists claim they want equality. They want 50%. They want 50%. No, they don't. If you wanted 50%, how about 50% of child support? How about that? Let's start with that. Let's start with the numbers game. Let's start with the actual financial value. Let's take away. Let's say, okay, you pay instead of I pay you $1,800 a month, how about you pay $950 and I pay $950? How about that? How about we start with that? You know, see how far that goes. All of a sudden they'll be like, well, no, they'll backpedal pretty quick if you cut their financial aid in half. And say, yeah, getting pregnant doesn't entitle you to shit. Oh my God, the amount of shit. That's why I love that judge. I think it's from Harlem, that black woman judge. Oh, fuck, I forget her name. I think she's from Harlem or something like that. But anyway, she is big in favor of fathers and stuff, and I love watching her YouTube videos. I love watching her because she's like, yeah, no, he's the one taking care of the kid. She is very in support of fathers being, you know, she puts these women to school and basically like, fathers are not second-class citizens. Judge Judy said this years ago, but fathers are not second-class parents. They're not second-class citizens. I know our system makes it seem that way, but guess what? Fathers are exactly 100% a parent. Not 99, not 101. 100% as much of a right as you have. In this whole, I birthed them. Didn't do it without me. So, yeah, the whole... I love watching when court cases go in the favor in that regard because child support wise, anyways, because you see so much of that happen and fall through the cracks where, um, yeah, that shit, that, it bothers me, man. That shit bothers me. Thank Christ I didn't, like, I married a very faithful, lovely woman, so I don't have to deal with that shit, but I feel bad for everyone that has, I feel bad for step parents, A friend of my brother's just, started dating a co-op. And, I don't know how old she is, what ethnicity. I have no idea, but I know she's a cop, and she has a 4-year-old. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, so it's like 28, 29, whatever. You're gonna now be a stepdad to a 4-year-old. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I could never date. Like, I get it later in life, like when you're in your 40s and stuff like that. Like, you got divorced from like your high school sweetheart or whatever. But why the fuck in your late 20s, in still maybe the twilight years of the prime of your life, but still the prime of your life, why the fuck would you willingly choose to be a step parent? Step parenting seems like the worst hell. I've never seen it done well. I've never, like, unless it's like from a baby, unless like they never knew their dad and their dad's dead, you know what I mean? I've only ever seen step parenting work when it was step parenting from like month 6. I've never seen it actually work well. It's always been a fight. It's always been drugs and sneaking out and but like beyond normal teenager levels. You know what I mean? Like beyond normal acting out and stuff. And I'm just sitting there going like, Jesus fucking Christ, Wouldn't be me. I couldn't be. I don't think I could be a good stepdad. I freely admit that. I think it would take a lot for me to be a stepdad. And I mean, I respect the people that actually become successful stepdads. Not like I don't respect people who become stepdads. All you're doing is banging the hot mom. You're not doing shit. You don't have to pay child support. You don't have to do shit. So it's the guys who step up, and then become stepdads or whatever, like, and then they do their shit. Like, I have nothing but respect for actual good stepdads. And stepmoms for that regards. And I shouldn't just say stepdads, stepmoms too. Like, that's such a hard role to fill. I wouldn't know how to fill it. Like, because the first argument to my mind is always the moment you start disciplining the kid because they're doing something wrong and they're like, you're not my real parent. You're not my real mom. You're not my real dad. What do you say to that? You know what I mean? Like, immediately I'm like, I have no answer for that one. Don't talk to me like that, That doesn't mean anything, Like, yeah, like, I kudos to all the step parents out there who were successful and made it work, because I've seen so many failures. Spadex says, the modern age of family relations and relationships of wives and husbands is incredibly sad this day and age, truly. 100%. 100%. I've always said many times on this channel that my wife and I have I would argue, a lot of people say it's a traditional relationship. I don't think that. I think it's more of a hybrid. We keep the traditional values. For example, I mow the lawns, shovel the snow, and clean the car. She cooks and cleans. However, I also... I should say she does the laundry and clean. I do most of the cooking. Why? I'm a better cook. If she was the better cook, she'd probably do more cooking. But I'm more efficient and I'm the better cook. She can cook. I've always loved cooking, so I'm that's the way the roles were designed. But I still, when I get, like, you can see it as traditional because, I mean, she has a higher level of education than I do and all that stuff. But I get up in the morning, I get in the shower, I get out of the shower, you know, at 6:30 or whatever, and to go to work, and she's already got my lunch made. She's made my cup of tea in the morning and stuff like that. She's done the traditional housewife shit. And then I kiss her goodbye, I go out the door, I go carpool, and I leave for work. And then what does she do? She makes her own breakfast, then she goes to the gym, and then she comes back here, and then she goes to work. And she works, and she teaches her classes and all that stuff. And she makes more money than I do doing it. And then when I come home, then I cook supper. But she's already made me my lunch. She's made me my breakfast. She's, you know. So, and once again, I would never expect her to go out there. Like, if I needed help, 100%. But, like, I go out there, I rake the leaves. I mow the lawn. I trim the hedge. I do the man stuff. And she does the feminine stuff. You know what I mean? And some people see that as demeaning or something like that. And, I mean, I asked her one time, I said, do you want to go out and mow the lawn? She goes, fuck no. You know, like, she doesn't want to go out there and run a lawnmower. She can. Well, why does she want to? She doesn't want to. It's got to get done, so the man does it, you know? She doesn't want to go out and clean the garage or, you know, wipe out the gutters and stuff. She doesn't want to do man chores. So we are very traditional in the sense that she does feminine things and I do masculine things, traditionally speaking. You know, I clean the car, I change the tires, I do the man shit. She does the female shit. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's not demeaning, it's not misogynistic, it's not sexist. She's not Ronda Rousey. She does not want to kick the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it is sometimes. And some relationships need to get back on track that there's nothing wrong with that. And the problem with this woman on that post is she put herself into an even more traditional relationship than mine, where she's making zero of the money and then still has the balls to fucking complain. And it's like, you don't really have a pot to piss in anymore, you know? So, yeah. What else is there? What else? Well, we're almost at we're an hour and a half in. Getting really hot in here, too. I gotta turn down that heater. I turned up the heater because I'm only wearing a t-shirt, but goddamn. Nah. It's getting pretty warm in here. Oh, well, that's why. I have it up to like 22 degrees. Jesus Christ. Sweating. Sweating good, baby. Sweating good. Yeah. Let's see. I'll see if I find one more quick one. Call it. I'm on the asshole for telling my doctor I'm bulking. I don't care. And burying my sister at my wedding. No. Bring a bikini on my family trip. Not apologize to my boyfriend for farting. Okay, that one's too long. This one's too long. I just want a short one. Something quick and easy. Yeah, I can't find anything exciting. Anyways, yeah, well. What else is there? Bitch, moan, and complain. Traffic. Let's complain about traffic like an old boomer. Actually, my brother had a guy pull up to him. There was a guy turning, and we were trying to make a right, but this was really bad, like double lane of traffic. buddy pulls up, and then he proceeds to like sit there and then go on his phone. Traffic's already moved on, and he hasn't moved, and we can't get out. So my brother slams on the horn like he should, and fucking buddy puts his phone down after being like this. Like that. And my brother just loses his shit, starts honking, giving him the double finger, the whole bit. And he's taking down his license plate. He's like, I'm going to call the cops. I'm gonna fucking call the cops, like, because he was texting and driving. He's texting and driving, and I'm like, they'll never get him for that, Luke. I told him, I said, they'll never get him, because at the end of the day, you know, a cop needs to see that happen. Like, you could say, like, oh, I saw this guy on his phone, and be like, well, it's not on his phone now. Like, we can't prove it. No eyewitness account. That's all we have. So, and for a ticket, nobody's gonna believe that shit. So he's like, well, I'll call him and tell him something. Like, I want this guy to have a bad day, sort of idea. And it's like, yeah, well, you know. So, yeah, and some guy actually crossed in front of him later on at lunchtime, and it was just funny. But he was having a terrible time with bad drivers today. Mostly women, but, you know. There was an old man, too, so wasn't just... No sexism there. Spade says, well, this was fun and a great talk, but I gotta hit the hay. Have a good night. All right, Spade, you have a good one, my man. Don't forget to hit that like button, my guy. We have 6 likes, by the way, so that's cool. That being said, it's been an hour and a half. If anybody was going to jump in there, we would have jumped in a while ago. So, and I've said all I wanted to say. We talked about, we talked about Kengan. We read the comments. We talked about Kengan. We talked about JJK. A little bit about One Piece. We did some controversial topics, you know, to get me canceled from I Am the Asshole and the subreddits and stuff like that. Talked about another little hockey coach story from my hometown here. Yeah, not a whole lot else. Not a whole lot else to discuss. So, yeah, in all honesty, this is a pretty tame bitch, moaning, complaining podcast. So I'm bitching, I'm moaning, and I'm complaining! There we go. That livened it up just a wee bit. Just add the decibel level a little higher there. Yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great Friday night. I hope you enjoyed any of the manga chapters that came out. I hope you enjoyed a lot of the football here on it's American Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody, to all the Americans and stuff like that. It's Black Friday sales and all that fun jazz. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a good one. And once again, I'm gonna have to remember to Metralata. I gotta write that down before I forget it. Where's a pen? I need a pen. I don't have a pen anywhere. Alright, I'm gonna type it. Just before I forget really quick. And yes, I'm gonna do this live stream. I could end the stream, but where's the fucking fun in that? I'll just text it to myself. Because I can't say this name. Metralata. Who the fuck calls himself something so stupid? There we go. I'll text it to myself, and then I'll remember to basically say, every time I say, host with the most, Griever as always, Dom Metrodata, hates when I say that, so I'm sorry. And I'll say that for 2 weeks, just to really, you know. You could argue that's getting under my skin, or you could argue it's part of a bit. Take it as you see it. Anyways, alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a great time. I really should do this audio only sometimes, because last time we did this audio only and it was fine anyways, because the camera stopped working. But I'm sitting here anyways, so I don't, to the point, not turning on the camera, and you guys can see my beautiful face. My very tired from the week beautiful face. So, My unshaven. I really got to trim up this beard. This is looking disgusting. So, but yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys back here next time. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, and stay tuned for both the One Piece chapter review, and alongside of that, hopefully by the end of the weekend, I'll get out. I'll have scripted and get out the Kengan Principles discussion video. I'm looking forward to really writing that. I want that to be I want it to be short. I don't want to ramble. I want that to be short, concise, and just say my points that I've already said. Now, there's not going to be any new argument, really, so I've sort of spoiled that across 2 Kengan videos and now the stream, but this podcast, but yeah. Anyways, is what it is, but look forward to both of those. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys back here next time. So, have a good one, everybody. Sayonara. Hasta la vista, baby.